Oh, hello there. We're about to play Sakura Spirit. Of course you can tell that it's a fantastic game. I've had this game in my library for like months, and I just haven't played it yet. I don't know why I haven't played it yet, but we're gonna have to. Wait, I put this on backwards. I gotta put my headset on first, so I can actually hear what's going on. This is a visual novel. Visually amazing, as you can tell. So let's just jump right into it. Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Amazing. Touch me. Oh, I gotta click. Yet as people grow up, they often come to realize the truth. Dreams are nothing more than fairy tales. Dreams will never come true. At least that's what most people say. Then, what about those who do end up accomplishing their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? Oh, this is Dad. All right, Dad. Let me get ready for my dad. Every man has a dream he wants to accomplish. However, there's something really important you should know, my boy. A real man doesn't give up on his dream, no matter what overwhelming challenges he may have to face. This music, though, is so loud, be turning down in my ear, my headset. I still remember those foolish words my dad used to say, but despite their silly nature, I found myself inspired by them. Ever since I was a young child, I've been interested in martial arts. It didn't matter whether I watched a match on television or read a manga about the heroic martial arts. Skipping words. Shut up, I can't read. You already know this. It has always been my dream to become martial arts one day. Of course, it was a bit childish of me to think that I could become a hero simply by learning martial arts. Even though I had already understood that superheroes were nothing more than figments of my imagination, I still had some desire to use my strength for the sake of others. My name is Gushiken Takahiro, a 17-year-old rising judo star, and no, that's not me bragging. Wait, am I the dad now? Or am I not the dad? I don't feel like I'm the dad anymore. I feel like I'm like the main character. I'm actually about to take part in a tournament 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career on an international level. We'll keep this voice anyway. I need to work out my big voice. It feels big. It may not sound big. Shut up. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I loved. But the same excitement also made me feel incredibly nervous. And while those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice resounded from outside the window. Oi, Taka-kun! Get your butt in gear! Okay, I'll be right there, Kiyomi! Not wanting to sleep, Kiyomi waiting. Wait, not wanting to keep Kiyomi waiting. Am I saying that right? Koyomi? Koyomi, probably. Koyomi. I quickly dashed towards the front door to let her in, not even realizing that I was still in my pajamas. Hold on a second, Koyomi. Gotta grab my shoes before we head off to school. Really? I never realized our school has such strict uniform of sleepwear policy. Nice jammies. By the way, did you borrow them from your mom? For a moment, my eyes drifted downwards. Noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas, I let out a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. Bah! There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book hero in the West. I've never heard of the Golden Knight. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like you. Hope she's super hot. Mumbling those words, I started slipping out of my clothes, not particularly minding the presence of the girl behind me. Nope, just a normal girl. That only happened once. You know very well I was super hot in that night. Jeez, warn me before you strip naked in front of me, you idiot! You didn't seem to mind it when we were little. Maybe you want to turn around instead. No, stop! Don't make me kick your butt! I decided I had teased her enough and quickly pulled on my pants, proceeding with the remaining few items of clothing before I was suitably dressed for school. What's up? This is me, right? Yeah. Or is it? I forgot already. Now yeah, besides, I had reason for being so distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? It's that upcoming match. I have no idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I'd made up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the apocalyptic genre. Shut up. All right, the judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches, and you kick butt. Of course, if you're really worried, you can always pray. Pray? What? Don't tell me you don't know. It's one of the school's legends. Apparently, there's some shrine out in the forest that if you pray to it, it brings you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed the night before her exam and she got a perfect score. I'm not being stereotypical, I promise this voice. This is just the first one that I started saying. A shrine is said to bring you good luck. Sounds bogus to me, but at this point I'm willing to try anything, I guess. I'll ask Ichikawa-san about the location. I'm not exactly in the mood to get lost in the forest and end up a modern-day Tarzan. Well, whatever! If you do go looking, at least send me a message, let me know. Oh, and you hurry up, we're going to be late. Again! A hero is never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when they are needed, like a wizard. Like a wizard. Oh, Gandalf, almost said Dumbledore. But for the sake of avoiding detention, let's hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero genius. Ha ha! I got the reference. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Let's not forget the Casanova and Man of the Year candidate bits. Oh, they're important details. I doubt you qualify for either one of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before. To school! Ah, nerd! Several hours later. The ... has made appearance. ... Dot. Later that day, I finally had a chance to talk to my classmates about the location of the shrine that Kiyomi had mentioned earlier. Gym was the last thing on my schedule for today, so once people got ready to go home, I approached the guy. Hey, Ichikawa! Is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to bring you good luck? Oh, let me guess, you want to date her. Well, even though I do have to admit she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone. Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full of dealing with Kiyomi. You can keep your sister to yourself. Jokes aside, I'm more interested in that shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo. She said something about it being near a river. I think I changed his voice already. And quite high up. To be honest, I wasn't paying much attention to where she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top, and it was tight, and she's your sister. Good lord. Stop. Seriously, I don't need to hear the details, and I doubt anyone else is interested. So, do you know anyone who might have heard about the shrine? Are you guys talking about that lucky shrine in the forest? The one and only. According to Ichikawa's sister, they're supposed to be near the river. I don't know about that, but there's this fiery girl at the Sakura Dojo who knows more about it. What are you talking about, Arisama? What about this tall, ridiculous, strong, super scary? That's the one. Oh, in that case, I believe I can't be of help. Takahiro-kun. Takahiro-kun. Kun. It's not kun. I like saying kun. Kun. We've had this. I know where that place is. Of course you do. We both do. You just want to tag along, don't you? I don't think Aria Senpai will appreciate you visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Don't need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished practice. Blood, sweat, and tears. Shut up! I don't peep on the ladies. That's slander, you know. I should sue you. I would never look upon Ariya-sama's glorious body in any state of nudity. Oh, so you haven't seen her naked yet? I've seen a bit of side boob, but but the whole I found didn't really let me get a good view of. And there we go. Someone call the cops. Ichikawa is peeping. Tom has confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder as I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process, and prepared to leave. Thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation. That's unfair, I was coerced! I won't say another word until I speak with my lawyer. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Once school was over, I decided to take my chances with a little bit of intel I had managed to obtain from my classmates. If memory served me right, Ariya-senpai would have been practicing at the dojo today. Of course, I knew her. She was a judo student just like myself, but for whatever reason, she had been refusing to compete in any tournament for a while now. Ariya-senpai, are you around? I shouted her name as I parked my bike, looking around for any sign of the girl. Wah! Fellow, follow the shouts and you'll find her. I grinned briefly as I saw Ariya, seemingly in the middle of practicing a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps now was a perfect opportunity to surprise her a little. I snuck closer, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached out towards her and touched her shoulder. Reached a hand towards her shoulder, about to get flipped. Ariya. Feeling a hand on her shoulder, Ariya reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. I didn't have time to brace myself for the impact before I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Oh, she's super small. Yeah! No one sneaks up on the great Kyonochi area. Oh, Taka boy, I didn't realize. Wait, I gave her the same voice as I gave the other one. I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Kunoichi. More like Tasmanian devil. That throw didn't have a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in that ring, Taka boy. Better that you learn that now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess. You want to do some sparring, don't you? I actually came here to ask you something, but I guess a little sparring wouldn't hurt. Oh, what do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon, and I could do with a bit of a break anyway. Where to start? You used to take part in big and important matches in the past, right? Didn't you ever get nervous before going into the ring? Oh, yeah. This one time I got so nervous I hid in the kitchen cupboard until my dad found me and dragged me to the car. Of course, that was when I was like 8. Well, obviously I can't go hide from my match, but one of my friends made the stupid suggestion that I go pray or something. Honestly, at this point, I'll do anything to calm my nerves a little. Taka boy, are you sure about this? You mean the match? Of course I am! I've been practicing judo ever since I was old enough to walk. This is my chance to finally represent this country and the sport I love. Ariya seemed to think for quite a long time, all the while tapping her jaw with a finger. Eventually she snapped her fingers, grabbed a tight hold of me. Alright, I'll tell you the way to the shrine I know, but it's going to require more than a simple clap of your hands and a bob of your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of value. I guess I'll have to think of something before we get there. Thanks, senpai. I appreciate your help and you noticing me. No, Taka boy. I'm not going with you. I've got training to do. Besides, you've got to take this step by yourself. I could draw you a map and show you the easiest way to get back here. Yeah. The easy way to get back here. But you'll be on your own. You're not tagging along? Not even for a little while? Afraid so, Taka boy. Let me grab some paper and I'll draw a map for you. Oh, my nose. After Ariya's return, quick preparations were made and I followed the directions noted down the map. Surprisingly, it wasn't all that far. However, the hint of how to find my way back, in case I got lost, was a bit sketchy. Just look down and you'll be able to see the roof of the dojo from anywhere on the hill. The forest near the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A narrow path coiled along the trees, and nearby was the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned. I followed Aria's scribbles with a bit of skepticism, but after an hour or so, I finally arrived at the supposed legendary shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone could be secretly living here. Perhaps some secret martial artist. Master. Sorry, I was kind of guessing without my glasses on. I thought of a hermit living and hiding within the shrine in order to prepare himself for an upcoming battle between good and evil. I started to dwell in my mind. Thinking, I guess it's too good to be true. Let's save it. I signed annoyance at the fact that aside from the shrine itself, the ground surrounding it seemed to be completely abandoned. There was no way anyone could be living here. For the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It only took a few moments before I gathered the courage to approach the building. Once inside, I found a rather fancy-looking altar of sorts at the back of the room. I guess this is the thing everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I'd been given. Putting it inside my bag, I approached the altar. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, but I wasn't too sure if this was actually going to work. I don't even think luck will do much good in a match like this. In my opinion, there wasn't any room for a thing like luck in martial arts. Where's my foot massager? There it is. Judo is all about using the knowledge you have gained throughout training. Of course, a good amount of talent also helps. There was simply no room for something as superstitious as luck. Clearly, this was going to be a match where my experience and talent would be pushed to their limits. Nothing more and nothing less.
How curious. A boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet he stands here, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. What do you, oh, come on, foot massager, don't slide around like that. Stay still.
Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source. There was no one to be seen. Who's there?
Quite the cliched question, but the right thing to ask is, where am I?
What are you talking about? Show yourself.
Not yet. Entertain me for a little while longer, won't you? Would you? This is a place like no other. Why did you come here if you did not believe in such things as luck?
I came here to prepare myself.
Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you're preparing yourself for.
I felt a little bit annoyed as the questions continued, but maybe if I kept talking to her, I'd be able to find out where Shell was hiding. Where Shell was hiding? This is where she was hiding. There's a typo, you should patch it. I'm preparing for a tournament. A judo match.
Judo? What might that be?
Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art.
Aha, so you're a warrior. Hesitant to go into battle and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight.
I'm not sure about the warrior part.
How fortunate. It just so happens that there's need of one of your kind.
My kind?
A hero. This shrine brings fortune to heroes such as yourself. However, every great hero must sacrifice something in return.
Sounds like what others mentioned. Your version sounds better, though. Laughing briefly at the story, I decide to play along and clap my hands together in prayer. So what's next? Do I offer up my allowance or something?
Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something of much greater value. I will be looking forward to seeing what destiny has in store for you.
As if on cue, I began to feel nauseated the moment the girl's words reached my ears, my head spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing into my back. As my vision grew blurry, the sound of approaching footsteps could be heard.
Ooh. Good luck, hero. You're going to need it.
Well, demon girl! Religion and all that stuff, the devil's in the shrine.
Get some chains.
Despite my attempts to get back up, all I managed was a brief look at the girl.
The sight of horns and tail left many questions, but before I had any chance to utter even a single word, my consciousness succumbed to darkness. ... Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Rays of sunlight stirred me back to life, a groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back into my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer in the shrine. Instead, it looked like the forest near the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could find the girl from before, but not a trace of her presence remained. To make things even stranger, the path that I had followed amidst the trees seemed better maintained than I remembered. I should probably head home. That thought was cut short when the sound of several female voices could be heard nearby. Oh, my waifus are here. Get back here! Hikage! Hikage, what are you doing here? Stop them at once! Just what do you think you're doing? I'm chasing them, I'm trying to stop them! Yeah, I think they noticed what's missing, Oni-sama. Mature voice. Keep running, little one, and we might just make it. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, the sounds of heavy footfalls could be heard nearby. Oh my! What in the world's going on here? Yeah. Further ahead, I saw a couple of girls in fast pursuit of even more girls. However, there was something off about this scene. Something that didn't make any sense. The girls being chased had the ears and tail of an animal, and the pursuers appeared to be armed with a katana and naginata. What the heck is that? You conniving fox, come back here at once, returning what you stole immediately. Give me back my panties! Hikage! Sorry. How could you say something like that? Panties! This is the old voice, right? Oh no! Help save us from the rampaging women! As I watched the girls run off, I couldn't help but to find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. While I didn't know what in the world was going on, the two girls armed with rather realistic-looking props, surely they couldn't be real, had me worried. I couldn't very well call myself a hero if I let something like this go by without acting. I'm so going to regret this. Mumbling in annoyance, I chased after the girls. Hikage, go around to the left! Right! I said left! Why do you always undermine me? I wasn't saying right. I was, never mind, just run after them. As I was chasing the girls, I noticed the trees seemed to be getting denser, making it gradually more difficult to navigate beyond the path. Oni-sama, I don't think I can run any much more. I'm starting to feel a bit... Just a little longer, Mayoko-chan. We're almost... Mayoko! Wait, Meiko! Meiko, not that! Not now! So sorry, Oni-sama! Scissor attack! I arrived just in time to find a scene taken straight from an action movie. The girl with the blonde hair had collapsed, held in her companion's protective embrace. The two armed girls were approaching them, almost unmistakably with killing instinct running amok. Any seasoned martial artist would have felt it. Those girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, thieves! I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town and have you both put in the stocks. Maybe I'll even show you how it feels to be running around without any undies on. Yeah! I must admit, having the breeze down there does kind of feel nice. Keeps me feeling fresh and tingly. Kage, goodness, don't you have any shame? This isn't about you, it's about your undergarments. Stolen! And these two criminals being brought to justice. Oni-sama, it hurts! My head hurts! Shh, it's going to be okay, little one. Hey, cards! If you're so desperate to have your underwear back, then here, catch! Stop right there! However, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired girl tossed something into the air. Whatever it was flying straight towards my head. The two samurai girls instantly grew flustered. I can't see! Oh wait, that's me. Oh, I can't see! Who the heck tosses up? Peeling the item off my face, I raised them into the air. Looking like a professor examining an important sample while the thieves made their escape. A pink bra and laced black panties. Oh boy. I knew this wasn't going to end well. Ah, you there! Are you in cahoots with the dirty, crafty foxes? And hand those back immediately. Those are evidence of a crime and not for anyone else to touch. Drop the panties right now! I'm innocent until proven guilty. It's one of the golden rules of the court. Just stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your undies without being turned into shish kebab. What? No, stop. Shut up. Just drop the evidence and walk away. I am Toshio Meow, chief of the village guards, and I'm ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop would go around dressed like that and wielding a katana. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. Are you sure I should drop this evidence here? I mean, I could, but... Ah! Before I could react, the pink-haired girl lunged towards me, the pointy end of her nagi nada aiming for my gut. My reflexes caught on just in time. I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck upwards on the wooden shaft of the weapon, sending it up into the air, causing the girl to lose her balance. Narumi, didn't I order you to attack? Fine, I'll give them back. Jeez, just my luck to find a bunch of crazy girls with weapons. Extending the hand that held the undies, I tried to hand them over, something that I would soon end up regretting. Ha! You think I fought for something so simple? Fool! You may have fooled me once, but I won't let that happen again! The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing the thick wooden pole into my side before I could dodge. She then lunged forwards and grabbed me tightly, pulling my arms around behind my back, leaving me with sore ribs in a prone position. I could have fought back, but I figured it would only lead to more fighting. With the possibility of ending up stabbed, I decided to remain passive. The sword-wielding girl stepped forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. Your methods might be crude, but they do get results, Hikage. Maybe it's Hikage. Don't call her Hikage. I don't care if it's Hikage or not. Tie him up. We'll bring him in for questioning. He probably knows where those pesky thieves are hiding. Right. And people wonder why criminals want to resist arrest at all costs. I mumbled this weakly as the girl with the nigaragas twisted my arm together with the rope. And I soon felt myself dragged by the duo towards the city. Surely once we're out of the forest, you two will stop this act of yours and let me go, right? As much as I like to fool around, I have more important things to do. The city? Ha! We're not taking you all the way there. You'll be spending the night in the village cells, thief. Who are you calling a thief? I'm the victim. First I get undies tossed in my face, then I had to deal with physical abuse, and now these accusations? Besides, there's no village around these parts. It's a city, you know. Shukuno Toshi. Silence, Hikage. If he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Sundari tyrant. That's funny. And that's how I ended up on my way to a jail cell. Cuffed and dragged by two girls, both of who I started to suspect were crazy. When we exited the forest, alarm softened my mind. The city I had lived in my whole life. It was gone. You've got to be kidding me. If I wasn't in Tsukino Toshi, then where the heck was I? Hey, no talking, come on. I don't want to bop you that much. Kinda, maybe a punch or two. I just want to know how the heck you blocked my strike so easily. Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was kind of predictable. With the right movement and enough force, that's the result you get. Anyway, I'll play along for a bit. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. I mean, the buildings look like they belong in some sort of classic samurai movie. Huh? What the heck is a movie? This is Harumaru. It's been here forever. Hikage, I thought I told you to silence him if he spoke again. Actually, you told me that I could, but you didn't tell me that I had to. Must be tough, being the subordinate of someone like that. Be quiet or I'll silence you for good. This time it didn't seem like an idle threat. The girl had unsheathed her katana and was now resting the edge of her blade against my throat. I was already starting to regret having played the hero earlier. Hopefully there would be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later, ... I soon found myself confined in a small room, the stern-looking tsundere of a girl glaring down at me while the other girl, who was apparently called Narumi, seemed to have softened up a little. From what I had gathered during their conversation, they had called the village elder to help oversee my questioning. What purpose did these thieves have? Are you just some pervert who gets of sniffing girls' undies? I ought to castrate you! Well, first of all, he said of and not off, so... I already told you I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, not to mention already worn by you. Anything worn by you would probably smell sour. Ooh, burn! I couldn't see too well from the cell where they had me, but I was almost certain I could hear Narumi laughing nearby. Tsukino Dono, please calm down. You brought him in to learn the reason behind this presence in the forest, didn't you? That's correct, Elder Sama. I believe he was working together with the fox spirits to steal panties and other undergarments. Objection! Huh? What are you objecting to, young man? The evidence surrounding the defendant's accusation was fabricated. Narumi-san, would you please answer the question for the judge? Was the defendant, that is, myself, anywhere near those girls while you two were in pursuit of them? Hold it! Just so you're calling a judge here, lower your voice or I will strike you down. Hey, Mio-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy clearly isn't a bandit. We could just ask him why he was up in the woods. If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's clearly a panty thief, and we'll use him as a punching bag out in the yard. Finally, and here I thought this was about to become a turnabout case. I sighed deeply, partly amused by my own act despite the seriousness of the situation. Who would ever have thought mimicking characters from games and movies would end up getting me out of trouble? As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner. Attorney at law. Things would hopefully turn out for the better. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken Takahiro. So, what were you doing in the forest when these two were chasing the thieves? I'm not entirely sure myself. One moment I was praying at a shrine hidden inside the forest. Next thing I knew, some weird girl was talking to me. A girl? Yes, a girl with the horns and a tail. I know it sounds weird, but I have sworn I saw her before. I must have fainted. After that, I woke up somewhere in the forest. Tsukino Dono, Narumi-chan, do you recall the stories behind the shrine near our village? Forgive me, Elder Sama, I do not recall. I know it's a place of high spiritual energy, a sacred place, but I can't remember the details. Sorry, grandfather. That shrine belonged to Shiruri, a powerful spirit that has been watching over our village for as long as anyone can remember. Unlike the fox spirit, we tend to avoid getting too deep into the forest. I think I could get rid of those pests once and for all if you would just let me go in and find their home. It's probably hidden somewhere in the damp cave in the hill, or some run-down old house. Humans and spirits rarely mingle, even if they meet with good intentions. The fact that this lad says he saw a spirit, meaning there's a chance that he was there for a reason, not to mention, did you take a good look at him yet? He seems disoriented, and his clothes look foreign. He did seem to be talking gibberish earlier. He claims to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that around for miles. He was also talking something called a movie, and used some fighting techniques that I've never seen here before. He's still a pervert. I'm not a pervert. It's perfectly natural for a guy my age to be curious about certain things. Besides, if you're talking about how panties ended up on my face, I had nothing to do with it. Tsundere tyrant. What did you just call me? I ought to smash you to pieces, you brat. Oh, what? Wait, now that I think about it, those two foxes did look like they were abandoning them. But grandfather, what does all this mean? I can't be certain. However, I believe it's unlikely that he's working together with the fox spirits. Still, I have never heard of any human to come upon a spirit such as Suryuri. I dare say he might not even be of this world.
Wait, are you trying to say that I'm in a different world now?
That would be the most logical explanation.
In what world would that be considered logical? But I have an important tournament to participate in 2 weeks from now.
Well, no one ever experienced something like this before. We'll have to think of how to deal with you, or if it's even possible to get you back to your home world.
In the meantime, a night in the cell won't hurt. He did assault a village guard and resisted arrest. He can stay here until he rots for all I care, but I respect the elder and wish to have a talk with you soon. Hikage, I'm going to clean myself off. I suggest you do the same. I would take offense to playing that I stink, but that was one heck of a run. Those fox spirits run fast. I would still like to know more about those techniques, Takahori-san. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to go a few rounds with you. It's not like I'll be going anywhere from the time being.
And it's only for a few hours while we discuss what to do with you. A person such as yourself could end up causing quite a commotion among the villagers. If it's so necessary to convince them that you mean them no harm before we release you, so it's necessary.
And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail cell, while the people responsible for my situation left to deal with their personal errands. This sucks. As if being sent to a different world isn't bad enough, I'm stuck in jail with my own company being...
A pair of beautiful...
Oh wait, this is the... I should give the Fox Sisters a better voice.
A pair of beautiful, magnificent, majestic Fox Sisters. Oh, lucky boy.
A pair of beautiful... Wait a second.
Yahoo! Hi there, Penny boy.
A familiar face appeared at the top of my cell, a blonde girl with golden eyes. As I watched, she flipped over and landed in front of the cell, waving her hands at me. From the side of the cell, another girl appeared, a wiry grin on her face. Ah, it's the panty thieves! If you're here to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong.
Nope! We saw the guards go into the baths and swipe the maiden silk again. Look!
With that, she pulled a pair of lacy, silken underwear from her sleeve and stretched it out with her thumbs, showing off her penny prize to me. You came all the way back here to snatch their underwear again? And I'm not sure that Tsundere Tyrant fits that label.
The cutie with the katana? You would be surprised. I happen to believe that she is as innocent as one can be. She seems far too uptight to let any man touch her. As for returning to the village, we have a debt to settle.
I smiled weakly as I wondered what the fox meant by debt. Debt. I'm not sure what this debt of yours might be, but I think you better leave before those two return. You don't seem to be on friendly terms with the samurai girls.
Wait, if he doesn't know about it, we can just leave, Onisama.
Mako, that is not how we do things. Young man, your actions allowed us to escape our earlier predicament without harm. This places us in your debt, for which we are now repaying you. Mako, do the magic.
Okay.
The younger girl walked forward and placing her hands upon the locked door of the cell, she began mumbling something that I couldn't even begin to understand, and her hands began glowing brightly. Different worlds, girls wielding weapons, and now a fox girl using magic. Next on the list, I'm going to find a talkative magic sword and end up destined to save the world. That said, I was curious to see what this magic would do to the lock keeping me imprisoned. The glow flared for a moment before quickly fading. There was a hiss, and then a sizzle, and the lock dripped to the floor in a mess of melted metal.
Well done, Mako-chan. I can't even get my country voice right. Well done, Mako-chan. Mako-chan. You did really well. Relax now, alright?
I'm not sure I'm supposed to be the most surprised about the fact that a girl just melted a steel lock, or that I'm starting to accept that this is normal.
This level of magic is extraordinary. Mako is quite gifted. But as I said, we are here to settle our debt. If you would like, we can escort you back to the forest where we first encountered you. I do, however, suggest you decide quickly. These guards do not bathe for long. I should know. I have observed them for a while. I'm gonna save because I think I may have to make choices. Well, I don't plan on sticking around, so I'd gladly accompany the two of you out of here. Maybe I'll be able to find my way back home. Lead the way, Peeping Tammy. Machiko, Sakura, Machiko, not Tammy. Takahiro, but I suggest we keep the introductions for later. Very well then, Taka-kun, follow. Kun. As I was stepping out of the cell, the sound of a familiar voice boomed in the distance. Thieves! Those crafty fox kleptomaniacs! I'll scare you alive! I think that's our cue to get out of here. With that, the three of us darted out of the prison. Whoa, that's a good spot to stop right there. A lot of reading we just did. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay toasty, my friends.